So, as I already said, my name is Andre. I am 40 years old. I started using drugs in the seventh grade. The first time I used was in the second quarter of seventh grade. Of course, it was an overdose. Everyone, the first time they use, it is an overdose. I felt very bad. But after that, I systematically started using and looking for drugs, looking for everything that the street offered. Also, the first reason, I think, was that my parents divorced and I was left alone. I also had a younger brother, Alexander, and at 15, I got my first conviction. I was already judged. By 17, I was already wanted and ran away from my country. My life completely went downhill. I quit studying, stopped developing as a person, as a human being, moving upwards, following any values. And by 25, my body was completely destroyed. I had epilepsy, my kidneys were damaged. I had hepatitis in my liver, I had a stomach ulcer, my teeth, all of them are dentures. These are not my teeth. I came to God without teeth. And in 2008, I heard a testimony that there is a way out for people like me. I am originally from Donbass, and I had no idea about faith, God, or church. I lived just following my own mind. And in 2008, I ended up in a rehabilitation center. The rehabilitation center was at the Song of Songs Church. Pastors Yuri and Marina Kravchenko. The pastors opened a center in a village like a refuge city, and I went through rehabilitation there, recovered completely. And I entered the spiritual academy of Pastor Sunday called Joshua. And after that, I decided to serve, to be a minister. I was ordained as a minister for people like me. I also became a public figure in Kyiv, head of the public organization Cultural Ukraine. We tried to make some movements to improve the nation's health, to be against drugs, against tramadol, promoting actions so that drugs would not spread so much. We participated in this and promoted it. That is, I wanted to help guys like me, deceived by criminal romance or street influence or fatherlessness, so that their lives could have an alternative. So it turns out for 13 years I used alcohol, drugs, lived a debauched criminal life in different countries, was on the run, yes, and at 25 I repented. At the same time, my own brother went to prison, my mother died, and I repented and entered a rehabilitation center. I became a pastor in 2019. At that time, my brother died from his health condition because his health could no longer endure. He had served 4 times in prison, and I think this gave me even more enthusiasm to serve God, to serve guys like my brother was, like I was in the past, so that the devil cannot, and the society, which imposes systems, state programs that turn a person into a vegetable, a person cannot think, I just decided that I would still fight this to the end, so that people could have hope. Know that there is a way out of this slavery, and there is deliverance through Natalia Podopeva's program. And I present this program because I went through it myself. Well, since most of the time I am busy with this movement, I do not really have time to marry or have a family. That is why I still don't have a family, because the specifics of my ministry are very difficult. And to include a family here, it just doesn't work yet. Well, as of today, I have been a pastor for 2 years. Yes, I am a very young pastor. I don't know. It is some kind of God's trust to be a pastor, to be a clergyman, for those people who come here to the rehabilitation center. Perhaps God sees some qualities in my heart, and therefore trusts this to me. Actually, I cannot call this a title or a profession, but even if I didn't have this, I would still do the same thing, just as a minister of the rehabilitation center for guys like me. And without this, well, if it is meant to be, then it is meant to be. That's all. I also want to say that I firmly believe that, of course, in my life, there is still a possibility to have a family and children. Yes, and I think this will happen soon, because it should be. For now, I am working with these guys. I want each of them to reach a certain level and have affirmation in the truth they know. This is what my life is based on now, and for these reasons, I help these guys. And in doing so, I also hold myself.